It's just another morning here at the shop. Let's just check out a regular morning here lately. Gotta grab my coffee cup. I think we got some weather today.
He loses mind.
We do.
He does snatching people balls.
What's up with the rain? No end to the bullshit session lately because there's 3 of us guys living in a bike shop. I'm really ready to get out of here, guys, and go do something else, but I don't know. I may just stash one of these bikes and ride the other one. Just been here a while. I'm ready to do something else. I'm gonna help Sid with his bike though. It's kind of trapped into all this bike stuff right now. But today what I'm going to do is change tires for Jody. He's got a bunch of them. I did this last year. Never actually worked off my bill. I didn't know I was going to, but he was like, no, we're good. So he's got a bunch of tires, and he's getting ready to move the shop. And Alan's in there, fixed his computer. Took him all fucking night, and all day and all night, really. And I'm going to do tires all day. So I'll show you what's going on. Gotta turn off the music for screw YouTube. Tools. Bike. Lift. My check engine light is already on. Mike's over here. He's going to figure out why it's there. Runs fine. Light keeps coming on. Bike gets real hot. I'm going to end up with a carburetor, man. If I would have realized the trouble I might have passed on this bike, but what got me excited was the lack of molestation. I can start with a blank sheet and do my own molestation, the stuff that I want, right? And I'll probably do a pretty clean job. I'm going to spend time with what I do to this to try to make it nice because the bike's so new. So with just the things I want, right? But Mike knows these things, and he's going to look it up for me. So we'll see what he gets with it, what he figures out.
Anniversary edition.
It's an anniversary edition.
Ah,
Firstly,
that's it.
I'm special. Firstly, Mikey, I want to know what your diagnosis
How
was.
many guys cover These charging system is putting out 15.5 volts.
The voltage regulator is starting to slip. I saw that yesterday on the voltmeter. I was watching it all the way coming back here as it started
Keep an eye
going
on
up.
that too, man. Your voltmeter's reading a volt less than it's actually putting out.
Well, it was on 14 when I got it like it's supposed to be, and then yesterday it started creeping up. And I wasn't getting that light, but I started getting the light before that. Yeah. So it turns out the voltage regulator is starting to go up. Well, the bike's been sitting for a lot. I mean, who buys a motorcycle in 1995? Put 16,000 miles on it, doesn't change anything on it, and then parks it in the garage for 29 years and then sells it. Jesus.
Go didn't run?
What?
Maybe.
Why keep it for 29 years? He told me he's getting older. He said he sold off a bunch of his stuff. So I need a voltage regulator.
Yep.
So what were you asking me? How's it compare to my other one?
Yeah. Besides it's newer, right? It's not all fucking clapped out.
Right. The clutch sucks compared
You
to
said
the one.
the gearing. You like the gearing on this. What's different about the gearing? I know that the Magnetti Morelli twin cam bikes kept the Evo gearing, but the carbureted twin cam bikes gearing went higher.
Did it go higher?
Yeah, I've verified with the book. Yeah, it changed the overall ratio was changed in the primary.
Is it really?
Uh-huh.
Wow. Top gear's fine, but first gear, it's lame on the first gear. The first
low?
gear's
That's
too
too
high, and it doesn't idle well. It doesn't chug well on the low RPMs.
But the overall gearing should be the same. Right, you should be at 30,000 RPM at 65-ish.
I'm at 3,000 at 70.
On this?
Yeah.
That's a little different than my 89.
What's your 89 doing?
3,000 around 65. 32.
Oh, you're
30
89?
Yeah, 3,300 at 70. 4,000 at 80. Pretty wound up.
That's right. They kept gearing them up. 2 more teeth on the front pulley. That's what I did with mine, with my 88. I'll put 1 more tooth. I mean, if you decide you want to keep it and go and do any riding on it, if you want it, that's what I did. That fixed it. 1 tooth on the front pulley is the equivalent of about 5 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're doing 3,000, if you're doing 70 at 3,000 RPM, you'd be doing 75 at 3,000 RPM with 1 more tooth. That's about right, because I've changed them a bunch of times.
3,000 is about 65.
They were too low.
3,300, 3,400 is about 70. 4 grand, 80.
Right, too high. The speed limit was 55 back then. So they were gearing them. That's the way my 88 was too. That's why eventually, with all the traveling I did, I learned that I could put 2 more teeth on the front pulley, and that made it about like the modern ones. So the thing is if I was to put that 6-speed in this and just leave the primary the same, it would have the same top gear.
Yeah.
Only it'd have a granny gear first gear.
That'd be real nice.
That'd be really. Because low gears, I don't know how many people know. You ever had a really? Well, you had one on that bike.
Yeah, my 89's real low.
Them big, huge.
You know, I found another one. Identical
89?
to it. Same fucking paint, same pinstriping, same graphics.
How many miles on it?
40,000, 42, something like that. So a little bit more than the one I racked. But it's the identical fucking twin.
Is it?
Yeah.
How much they want for that?
I already got it sitting on my lift at home.
Oh.
I bought it for 5 grand.
5? Oh, it's a Tour Glide.
Yeah, I told you, 89. 89.
Does anybody know what a Tour Glide was? Well, let's show it to me again. Let's show. Wait a minute. I'm gonna get it. No, go back to the Tour Glide.
Oh, shit.
Okay, here it is. Okay.
All right. That was the day before the
Does
wreck.
anybody recognize that fairing? They call them, what do they call them now? A road glide?
A road glide, yeah.
A road glide, but actually that's the remake of the Tour Glide.
People hated them fucking
They
bikes.
hated the Tour Glide. And then those disappeared for a while, and they came back with a more streamlined fairing and a different name,
never did
and everybody
disappear.
loved them.
Did
I
they?
didn't see them, yeah.
I thought they made them all the way up.
Right 93. 93,
no,
something like that.
I'd say 96.
96?
Tour Glides, yeah. 96, 98.
I
and
thought
they
they
went to a road glide.
disappeared. They were gone for a minute and came back like
But
a
I love
year.
that motorcycle. So after I wrecked
So
it,
you've
I
got
did
it-
a little bit of research. I found another one, just like it.
So you got a 21,
Yeah.
but you were riding the old one.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I like the old one.
You do?
You get on a bike week, everybody's got a new fucking motorcycle.
Ah, it's
Right?
different.
It
That's
is
true.
different.
It is different.
You ride an 89 Tour Glide, it stands out. People are like, oh, I remember that. That was a cool bike back then. Everybody hated them. You know?
Everybody hated them.
Now
That's
they love
right, they
them,
did.
right?
The guys
Yeah.
who owned them told me they rode the best, but they
Dude.
looked the worst. They were discontinued for being
that
ugly.
bike rides real nice. It carves the fucking corners real well. Yeah, I rode it down there, you know. So,
That's what I'm saying. There's a bunch of shit about this bike.
it's different.
I don't mind the difference. It's the complexity and the expense here. I want simple stuff, man. I need simple stuff. Because I run them into high mileage, and all my breakdowns are out in the middle of nowhere. You don't know it until you're with me. Joe Rader, he thought he was going to buy a bike that doesn't break down, so he started riding them Hondas. You know what he found out? He found out that they're hard to fix when they break down.
Yeah, you
I
gotta
told
pull
him,
the
I said, they all
motor
fucking break when you use them like we do. Guy's like, well, I never breaks. Give my bike, it'll never break. I'm like, how many miles you got? They're like 60,000. I'm like, well, you know, it's in a garage, right? It's not sitting out in the with a
In the
tarp over it.
elements.
Yeah, you put a tarp over it, even when there's dew and there's humidity, it goes underneath the tarp. It gets into everything. You take the tarp off, it's all got a sheen of water across it. You know, so they're outside all the time. It's just the life they live, man. So,
Yeah,
we'll see.
mostly.
I might just drop by, check out my bike. My fuel injector's fine, my voltage regulator.
Actually, I come by to see Jody right
Now, it seems like a strange situation, Jody letting us all camp in his shop, and it seems like it would be a big hassle to him, but it actually turns out it's been a bit of a benefit to him. I'm doing tires, but then he's done stuff for my bike too. But I'm going to give him a couple of days of doing tires, or a day and a half, something like that. And Alex, he's fixing his computer, and I guess the thing was really screwed up. Let's take a look back there, huh? This is Jody's home computer. I think his wife screwed it up. Wasn't it? She tried to hook in that printer.
Yeah.
That super printer, because she's an artist, and somehow it totally wasted the computer, whatever they did. But who of us really knows about them? So Alex here, he's been working on computers for 35 years, Alex? 35 years you worked on computers, so he's retired now.
Yep.
So what have you had to do with this one?
Rebuild it from scratch.
Rebuild it from scratch. Jody brought it from home here. Alex is staying here, camp with us, of course. He's right next to me. I gotta listen to him. Fucking, he snores. Guy snores, man. Not too bad though, but you snore. Anyways, so Jody brought his computer from home over here, and Alex been working on it all night. So, all day yesterday and all night tonight, last night. Because you had to keep getting up for why?
Because different prompts, different things you have to keep after it finishes installing one thing, you have to come back and install something else.
So he's
Trying to keep the process rolling.
rolling. So what'd you do? Keep waking up
Yeah.
and having to get back on it? So he slept in here last night. Here's his bed here, huh? Yeah. And so he's got the computer up and working. You know, he's going to try to hook up that computer tomorrow, right? Or that printer. She's got a big printer because she's an artist. It's over here. He went and got it for you? It's just this printer. I thought it would be bigger than that. So it seems like him having us here seems strange to me. He lets us stay. He's always let me stay. I don't know why. But in this case, it's worked out in his benefit. Because they'd have never got that computer working. I mean, I don't think what would a shop cost to spend the night with it?
It would have probably been cheaper to just buy another computer.
Right. So he's come out okay having us stay here. I was just saying it's been beneficial for everybody, actually. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Except you, the only thing you got out of it was a free lunch.
Well, I get a roof over my head.
And then hanging out here has been fun. All the guy talk every night. I don't bother recording that, but we hang around and bullshit. And then we go to eat together and all that. So we ride around a little bit, you know.
It's a good time.
It's been a good time. My mistake. It's Alan, not Alex. Sometimes in my head I get that one confused. I've been right all the time though, right? Up until today.
Right.
Because he's been here for like a week. Alan. It's Alan, not Alex. Today we're going to Jody's house for dinner. His wife Janet's a really good cook.
You got to see if somebody's got grit. If they don't have no grit, they ain't got no business taking my daughters.
He's talking about when his daughter's boyfriends come over, he'd put them to work. And that'd run half of them off. I said by that time I was that age, I was already roofing full time. Because I left home when I wasn't quite 16. Not because I had bad parents, just because I was a freedom junkie. Anyway, here we are. If I already had a job, I'd been like, man, I ain't gonna work on your house. I came here to bang your daughter. I was here one day and there was a big black bear walking down this street, man. You ever seen that, Jody?
Oh yeah.
A lot of bears around here.
What day is trash day?
Ah, I'm just filming for a minute, buddy.
Good.
Jan is a good cook. I told you. To the shower. Alan ain't had a shower in a couple of weeks, I think.
Oh no.
We're using that hose out in the back.
That hose in the back is cold.
You know,
At least
Janet,
you can have a hot shower.
you don't really need to tell me that.
I'm just telling
I
you.
figured it out all by myself.
You're a smart man.
Yeah.
I know you're a smart
I've
man.
been taking showers in that hose back there
Yeah.
too. But I go over to this gym now and then, right? These guys don't go there.
Oh, okay, well.
Of course, they got plenty of heat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I should have brought over some movies. I got like...
I've got so many movies on
You
that
do?
too. You don't have to worry about
I'm doing the Joe Rader. He always
Joe
does the
Rader.
food.
that.
He always does the food, right?
Look
Yeah.
at all the food, man.
Yeah. Joe thinks his stuff out more. I just take the camera out and wave it around once in a while. And then if I go to make something, I gotta like look at it and say, well, I think I can make anything out of that. You know what I mean?
He's talking.
A lot of guys think it out. They set up a camera. And,
Yeah.
I'm
and
just
they,
like, well,
They know exactly what they want to film.
yeah, they got an idea before they do it. They're kind of making a movie, but I'm really off the cuff. Fly off the cuff.
Are you off the cuff?
Yeah, off the chain.
Off the...
Yeah,
You've
so
always been off the chain.
yeah, I'm just kind of lame really about it, but well, it's all.
And this is the butter. And there's
For a Sunday something to do, Alan and I have ridden way out into the country, well, 15 miles, to go to this Christian fish fry. Now, I'm not religious. Alan, he's a Christian, but he's not the... You wouldn't know it. You know what I mean? He doesn't, like, push that issue. And so it's just something to do for the weekend, and I'm looking forward to eating with all these nice people. And we'll see how it goes, you know? Just a little Sunday get together. Good with me, man. On a beautiful day. Look at this girl. She's got bringing a crock pot. Wonder what she's got. That's all it is. Social thing. A lot of old folks and kids.
Down lower.
We're looking at this Valkyrie.
Put the weight down.
It's Valkyrie, right?
What's your favorite tire, Metzler or what?
Car tire.
A car tire.
This is a car
so
tire.
You use a car tire.
He does, yeah.
There you go. I've been told that that's not, of course, the safest thing in the whole wide world, especially if you like to ride the.
Well, I can shoot sparks off the hard parts on this bike.
Really?
I've got over 500,000 miles on car tires. Never had a problem. I've had problems with motorcycle tires. I can plug that and run it with a string plug and run it for the rest of its life. Motorcycle tire, matching it and be marginal. I can buy that tire for $75 shipped to the house. I put it on myself and I can get 30,000 miles out of it.
You suck.
The front.
They don't make a car tire to fit this bike. It's too narrow. Or I'd have one too. So, yeah, Alan's got, what do they call it, the dark side here?
Dark side.
And then you got to be worried about safety. I'm not very interested in safety. It's never been a big concern of mine. People tell me you got to be safe. I'm like, I'm not very good at it. I just was never interested in that. That's like not something I wanted to get involved in. I ain't kidding. I'm not kidding. That's the way I see it. I'm like, that's the TV telling you that. We didn't used to do that when we were young, man.
So, if you get in a state like South Carolina and they don't have a helmet law down there, do you ditch the helmet and then?
Yeah. I'm in this for the freedom of it.
There it is.
So when the TV started with all the be scared, be scared, be safe, be safe.
Right.
When somebody says be safe, we didn't have that saying. Remember, we didn't have that. I don't think we had it in the 90s. We certainly didn't have it in the 80s.
Did you ever have a mama?
Yeah, of course. I still got her. She's still alive. But that whole be safe thing that the media is pushing is because people would give up personal freedoms for this illusion of safety. So they've been pushing this, right? And we didn't have that. So when it first, think of the 80s. Nobody said that. I worked a ridiculously dangerous job, ridiculously dangerous. Nobody ever told me to be safe or be scared. Just like the military thing, the way people go, thank you for your service, military discount. Do you remember, we used to protest the wars. We didn't cheer on the participants. This is the power of the media, right? Yeah. We used to protest the wars. None of us want these wars we're in. We protested the wars. We didn't cheer on the participants. I'm not about, half my friends are either active duty or retired. So I'm not about, I don't have no problems with them, right? But I have problems with the people that are using them, that are having these wars that we don't want. Yeah. You ask us, we don't want them. Get us the hell out of there. We're not interested in that place.
Yeah, I hear you.
Bring it on home, man. Bring us our resources. Take care of us. That's what we want. this place is called Chimney Rock. I think yeah. It has some historical significance. I'm going there, I think. Coffee, coffee. Oh, we got really fancy motorcycles. Gotta stop here. It's Sunday. Everybody wants to go out to watch some music today. Be it. Something going on here. Okay, the music just took a break. Sunday thing going here. We're at Jody's new shop. We're gonna help him get it ready. I'm not sure what we're doing, but I'm gonna work today on this shop. This is gonna be it. I want to tell you guys about something that happened to me a while back. I was out in Texas at Brian's place and I needed a few parts, some gaskets and stuff for my bike. And he said, well, get on the internet, man. So I gets on the internet and I find these parts and I'm looking at this and finally I go, oh, fuck this. I shut the internet off and I opened up my map and I hit for the nearest independent motorcycle shop. And it was 20 miles away. And I hopped on my bike and I rode down there. And I get there and there's an old man. He's been there 40 years. He's 80 years old. He's got an old time shop. And so I orders my parts from him and I tell him, look, I need a couple of jets for this carburetor and some little stuff like that. And he goes in the back and I think he got me some used stuff. He sets it on the table and he says, you can have those. So I take off and I come back and when my parts come in. And when I get there, there's two old dudes sitting in a chair in front of the counter and the other guy's sitting there and they're all drinking coffee and bullshit. And I'm thinking, well, I ain't gonna get no business done right now. So I go over and get a cup of coffee, pull up a seat and hang out with these guys until it's done and the two dudes leave. Then I get my stuff from the old guy and I pay him for it. And I say, I could use an intake manifold. And he says, mine's got issues, right? And he says, there's a box of them in the back. Go get yourself one. So I do. And I bring it out on the counter. And I said, what do you want for that? He says, oh, you can have that, man. He says, and there's a bunch of carburetor stuff back there, too. If you need to build a carburetor, if there's carburetor stuff you need. And I'm like, no, I'm good on the carburetors. And I think he might even gave me a T-shirt, right? And then I left with my stuff and put my bike together. Now, I want to tell you something about this motorcycle right here. It's had a broken speedometer cable for a better part of a week now. And I could have ordered one and had it shipped to me overnight. But I didn't. I'd just been riding it without one. And what I ended up doing was calling ahead to a friend of mine who's got a shop. And I had him order me one. And I will put it in when I get there. Now, why am I doing this? Why? Well, because I think most of us know these days that something big's going on, and I think most of us know that a major part of it is this is a world corporate takeover, right? Now, who works for the corporations? Who keeps them alive? Who works for them? Us. Who buys from them? Us. Who can they not survive without? Us. And this is what we do this to ourselves. So instead of going to Joe's hardware down the store down the street, we go, well, I'm going to go to Home Depot because it's bigger. I got a better selection. I might get a better deal. We don't think to ourselves, hey, you know, Joe, he's an American. He's got a family on the other side of town. He needs customers. I'm a customer, and maybe I want to start a business. Will any customers to me? We don't think like that. We say united we stand, but we think me, me, me. Where can I get a better deal? Where can I get more convenience? That's what we think. We won't put any effort into supporting our own people. Because what would happen is if we began to pull over to places like Joe's and the old guy that sold me the parts and seek out our own people and support our own people, their stuff would have, Joe's hardware store would have to grow. He'd have to expand. He'd have too many customers. He'd have to start carrying more stuff. He'd have to get a bigger building or put on a room addition. Meanwhile, Home Depot over here would begin to go that other direction. Do you see what I'm saying? And we would swing the pendulum from one side to the other. It all depends on the people. It's all the people's fault. So why do I do these things? I think you can figure it out for yourself. If we all did them, or most of us did them, or more of us did them, or if everybody took some effort, we would turn the tide on these guys. And with that, I'll see y'all on the next video.